Hello, my name is Henning Kunz. In this video I would like to show you the user and the server perspective in our iDNA Foundation report. What will we see here? At first we will take a look at how frequent users are accessing the backend with their Nodes clients. So how often do they use Nodes during the day? The second vision will be a classification of your user bases into light users and heavy users. So how much load do they put against the backend, which leads to a user demand ranking. So you will see your top users of your organization, top users in the meaning of who uses Nodes Domino the most. And then we will change the perspective and see the same on the server side. So we will classify the servers into light and heavy servers and see a server demand ranking. Let's start with the online time profile. In this report, you see not the hours of the day from 0 to 24. You see, let's explain it in an example. In the 8-hour column, 901 users had accessed the server backend 8 hours a day. So that means in this column we have 900 users and each user showed activity at 8 distinct hours a day, which could be a mail every hour in these 8 hours, or which could be heavily working with nodes all over the day. So it's very common that you find in an environment the peak around the 8-9 hours a day, because the average time a user spends in the office is around 9 hours. So the most users are between 8 and 10 hours, including the breaks. If you go to the left-hand side, you will find less users, and those users are either remote users replicating several times a day, or who just open up their Nodes client, reading a mail and closing it again. So they do not show up in a lot of hours a day. On the right side, you have a small amount of users. It's about 80 over the 15 to 20 hours section. Those are users who do not switch off their client when leaving the office, or functional accounts who do stuff against the backend the whole day. So I told you we divide our users into several classes, starting from light over moderate, intensive, extreme to excessive users. I have to explain that. If we take a look at the moderate user puts a factor of 100 more load against the backend than the light user. The intensive user a factor of 100 more than the moderate user. The extreme user a factor of 100 more than the intensive, and the excessive user puts 10 to the 8 more load to the backend compared to the light user. So this is a very interesting example which we see here. We have about 8,000 users dividing into 99% light users and 1% moderate users. And then we have these, let's say, 5 exotic users on the right-hand side, and we will directly see who they are and what they are doing in the user impact by demand category. This slide shows how these categories from light to excessive, how they use the system. So in the perspective of node sessions, network traffic to the client, network traffic to the server, document reads, document writes, and transactions. And the first thing which directly pop up is that this one excessive user does 90% of all document writes. So one user writes 90% of the documents compared to the remaining 8,000 users. So, and if you average just with AI over all the categories here, you will see that this excessive user has almost 40 to 50% of the whole load of the backend system, which translates into this one excessive user, which might be a functional user, we will see that in a minute, costs about 40 to 50% of the whole backend cost. So that's the number, and that's an interesting finding in each and every environment. So this is worth to find out. So this is the end user demand ranking, which shows the top 21 users in demand to the backend system, and you see that the first 4 users So the excessive down to the very high impact users are all functional accounts. In this specific case, the 90% of document writes derived from an archiving system, a third-party tool, where the archive ID wrote 3 or 4 documents per document a user was generating. So you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns where we find how many sessions did a user have, how many volume the user downloaded to the client and uploaded to the server, and the count of reads and writes and transaction. And you see that this is pretty much showing the top users, and there's a big difference in single categories between those users. So the super singer had 1 million sessions, and the user on rank 21 had just 300. This is the end user view to the report. Now we change perspective to the server. We find the servers classified in the same categories from light to excessive. In this special example, we found 19 light servers and 4 moderate servers and 1 extreme one, and go directly to the utilization ranking. You see in the same color scheme the 1 heavy load server compared to the more heavy load servers to the light servers. And with this report you could either think about resizing the server number 1 because it had 28 million sessions during this measurement period, or you could think about consolidating the light blue servers because compared to this number 1 server they had really a small amount of sessions. You have to be aware that in the light blue section we have a lot of functional servers like Traveler or Quicker or Same Time, which cannot be consolidated very easy, but this is worth to take a look at it. You will find your consolidation potential, you will find your heavy load servers and could resize them. That's an interesting information. So this is the server and the user perspective in iDNA Foundation report. More reports, more answers. See you in the next video.